Welcome back to the AI-Driven Marketer. I'm Dan Sanchez. My friends call me Danchez. And today we're going to be talking about the 5 different types of AI marketing. I've tried to make as many types as I can, and I find that all of them can be categorized under these 5, at least for now, until new tech comes up and makes it possible to do more. These are the 5 main areas that I'm focusing my time as an AI-driven marketer. And I've tested this with a number of my AI marketing friends, and as much as we can come up with other ones, they end up becoming sub-points within the 5. And you might be thinking, Danchez, why the heck do we even need to categorize types? And to answer that, I'd have to say, like, in a new field, in a new way, in a new, like, emerging thing like AI, it's good to try to organize ideas. Because if you can organize ideas, you can refine them. You can figure out what they are and what they're not, so that you can actually push the envelope and do more and refine the thinking. I find the better and clearer my thinking is, the more I can actually accomplish. So as I set out on this journey to master AI in 2024, I was looking for models or ways of thinking and approaching the topic, and there just wasn't a lot because it's so new. So many people are trying to figure this out that there wasn't a lot of knowledge or classifications, taxonomies, categories, or types of how to approach this topic of how AI can change marketing. So after wrestling with it and reading about it and watching so many Sam Altman videos, I'm trying to organize it all and work through it. And these are the 5 that I've come to. And I'll throw up a quick graphic here, but don't worry, this is like the one visual you're going to get in this whole podcast. It's just like a circle wrapped around with another circle around it, and there's like one dot in the middle, and then the outer circle is broken up into 4 different parts because there's one central piece, and then the 4 hover around that. The one in the center is the internal Copilot. I'll come back to defining it in a bit. And the ones around this internal Copilot are your content production and distribution, hyper-personalization, multi-channel chatbots, and automated analysis. These are the 5 types of AI marketing, or how AI can be best utilized in marketing is probably a more accurate way of describing it. Let's go one by one and explore how these types play out and how you can actually use this tool in order to assess your own marketing or your own marketing team to figure out how to best leverage AI within the different functions going on. Starting with an internal Copilot. I find that this is becoming a bigger and bigger part of AI, is having a general purpose AI tool. It could be Microsoft Copilot, hence the name, right? It could be ChatGPT and having like a team license so you can share the different custom GPTs. It could be Anthropic, but you all have a shared multi-purpose AI tool that's like a Swiss Army knife that you can share between yourselves. Where it can access knowledge that you leverage together, where you can come up with certain internal tools to help your own processes. But I find it's more and more important that you're going to need this internal tool that's not necessarily customer facing. And I think every department within a business eventually will have their own departmental copilots, maybe even a company-wide copilot with departmental focuses. But this is going to, of course, be a big part of marketing. I think marketing is one of the is going to be one of the first teams championing this model and utilizing this. So while that's not an external marketing piece, it is an internal piece that helps all your other external AI marketing, is having an internal Copilot. So that's one, and that's why it's at the center of this little graphic that I've shared with you. The next one is content production and distribution, right? And that one's kind of like a given. It's kind of like like an obvious one, because that's what most marketing teams are using AI for now. And most things fall under this, like all my podcasting work, all my social media work, everything, all the content production falls into this, whether you're using Sora to make videos, ChatGPT to write blog posts, or you're using for some kind of repurposing, even using it to schedule out your posts based on when it's right. It all kind of fits under this bucket of content production and distribution. So that's a major area. The third major area is going to be around hyper hyper-personalization. And I think this is untapped. This is not really happening much. I've just only started to scratch the surface with even creating some hyper-personalization in an email course I just dropped last week. If you haven't seen that episode, go back to the episode where I talk about an AI-driven course, and then you can actually sign up for the course for free to see how it's actually being implemented, because everybody gets different lessons in the newsletter based on the information you put in the form when you sign up for the course. So I think things like that are going to be happening all over marketing. Of course, in nurture campaigns, mostly once you know a little bit more about the target audience, it might get to the point where like hyper-personalization is happening live on websites just based on maybe cookies or what AI scraped about you before you landed on the website. Maybe even what you're interacting with there on the website. As you start to explore different things, it starts to personalize and tailor the whole experience for you as you go. So that's exciting, because that's going to have the ability to create better connection, put the right value proposition in front of the right person at the right time, and better educate people. And we know the more we can educate people, because this obviously hyper-personalization is going to have a huge impact on education in general. Imagine if every textbook was customized just for you, where your knowledge level is at, what your past topics of expertise were, so it can map it to that new thing you're trying to learn. Think about how crazy, like, cool that would be, and how much easier it would be to learn things because of that. That's going to happen on our marketing campaigns. Marketers are probably going to be the first ones leveraging like hyper-personalized education before even teachers and universities and students do, right? So that's exciting as somebody who loves to educate, hence this podcast, right? So that's a major function. We've covered internal Copilot at the center is 1, content production and distribution is 2, hyper-personalization is 3, and then multi-channel chatbots is 4. That's another obvious one, because that was like one of the first applicable things when ChatGPT launched. Everybody's chatbots actually got smart, because chatbots were a disaster before, and now they actually work. And this is a big part of marketing. I remember working for a university where I had a bunch of student staffs. You know, they work 15 hours a week, and I had a whole team of about 24 of them. And I could just never get them to staff the live chat on the website around the clock enough. Now with AI agents, they do a pretty dang good job of managing chatbots when they're trained on the company data, or in that case, it would have been the university data for me, as it was a private university. It would have been amazing, because it can go around the clock without taking breaks and be about as accurate as any of my interns could have been at that time. And maybe even more accurate, because it can find the right information really fast based on the database it was trained on. The cool part about this is it's not just limited to site chat anymore. You can plug this same tech into SMS, so people can have SMS conversations or text message conversations. I have software that can hook this up to WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, and I've seen whole campaigns for influencers who can't keep up with all the DMs coming through all their variety of channels, where you can hook this up, train it on your voice, your stuff, and your content, maybe your whole blog roll, and can actually deal with people and then subtly upsell them into actually paying for things, right? So on a kind of a sales front, which is why sales teams are big into this right now. But conversational AI, maybe that's a better name for it than multi-channel chatbots. It's probably just conversational AI. I might need to change that. Is a major component, and it's different than content production. It's different than hyper-personalization, because we're talking about a back and forth conversation. Yes, it is hyper-personalized, but it still has a different nature than just hyper-personalization in itself, because of that conversation taking place. And at the same time, it might even go beyond like chat and text. It might become voice back and forth, right? So conversational AI is probably even a better one than multi-channel chatbots. And the last one, number 5, is automated analysis. Not analytics, not dashboards, but actually giving you back automated insights based on what's going on with your data. I don't see this happening hardly anywhere yet in all the tools that I'm using. I know some AI companies are working at solving this right now. It's pretty tough. And it's not even that the AI can't handle automated analysis yet, because you can absolutely upload a static CSV to ChatGPT and get back some pretty decent analysis just based on raw data. Be like, hey, here's a marketing report. Tell me what I need to know. And it will give you back some really good stats. You're like, huh, without looking at the data, like, this is really good. So it's already good at analysis. But what we don't have yet, and I'm really looking forward to, is when SaaS companies and the developers start building it into a way that's automated to where you're just getting a weekly report of what's happening across your website and action items about what to freaking do about it, right? Because that's where the AI power comes in. It's not just in it's somewhat powerful in the manual, being able to, hey, analyze this spreadsheet, hey, take a look at this web page kind of stuff. It's way more powerful when you can just put it on autopilot. So you're getting a Monday morning report based on on the week's worth of website traffic, and then even checking back to the whole year and how it compares to maybe this time last year. And it's just thinking about all that kind of stuff for you and giving you back actionable insights on a regular basis. That's the kind of stuff we want. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to be available very, very soon for marketers. But still, looking at these 5 different types, at least 4 out of the 5 are generally available right now through tools that we currently have around content production and distribution, having an internal Copilot. Hyper-personalization, still rare, but possible. I've already started dabbling in this. And of course, having conversational AI via chatbots right now is happening all over the place. So automated analysis is the last one that I'm like, it's coming soon, probably be here within the next 6 months, maybe a year, where we could start just plugging it into our CRM and just getting back actual feedback and real-time insights. So those are the 5 different types. How well are you implementing these across your business, across your team, or if you're a solopreneur, across your marketing systems? It's a different way to think about it. Give me some feedback. How helpful is getting content in helping you think about how AI applies to marketing? I'd love to know. Shoot me a message on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/digital-marketing-Dan, and I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you've listened to a few episodes of this show and this show has provided any value for you, please, it helps me a ton if you could leave it a rating in whatever podcast app you're listening to this on. You don't even have to give it a 5-star. Give it the stars you think it's worth. If you give a review, then hallelujah, that's even extra on top. That is gravy. But if you can go and give it the reviews or the amount of stars that you think this content is worth, I would really, really appreciate it. It helps a ton. Thank you.